Zane Gonzalez's stats. I got those. How about Britton Colquitt?
I hope I never see Zane Gonzalez again.
So, are you guys just gonna start, or do you want me to tell them the name of the show, or
you do whatever
how do you guys want to do this?
You're the host.
You're the host with the most.
Lay it on us.
Well, I'm gonna give him a little bit more rise by Ribeiro, given to us under a Creative Commons Thanks, Ribeiro. We appreciate you lending us your tune for this Fancast, this fantastic Fancast. It's Better With Hue, a Fancast from Cleveland fans to Cleveland fans.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we have today's fans, and you can also see the dial-in number down at the bottom. Go ahead and hit that, and we will bring you in live so you can... This is... Vitamin Water is not a sponsor. You can't, like, put them up there.
I'm trying everything. I couldn't get Miller Lite.
Now, I will put up my
Dickies barbecue.
My souvenir chugger.
Diet Coke.
Hey, that used to have a freaking Bloody Mary in it.
Double.
That's right. We got Diet Coke, Dickies Barbecue. Reach out to Dickies Barbecue. That'd be a wonderful sponsor. And Vitamin Water. I mean,
we get free food, free vitamin water.
We got
Dude,
Jimmy.
I would do anything for some Dickies Barbecue right now.
I've never been there. Is that good?
Phenomenal.
Very good.
Hey, Luke.
All
Say
right.
go Browns.
What's up, Luke?
Say go Browns.
Go Browns.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to Carolina.
Good night.
All right, everyone. So let's get right into it. We have Go Cavs. That's Jimmy. We have Just Glenn. We have It's Better With Hue, ?
Couldn't read that as a question, huh? You couldn't read it as a question.
Oh, you mean It's Better With Hue?
Hey!
And I Heart Alonzo. We got a jam-packed show ready for you guys today. So let's get into It's Better With Hue's favorite part, and that is the agenda. So we are going to do What Did We Just Watch? And we'll be covering the Browns games. Then we're going to do some Browns quotes. I got some sweet quotes for you guys to guess today. I think you should be able to have some success.
You mean the Bears and Steelers?
Oh, what did I say?
The Browns and Steelers.
See, Bears and Steelers. What the hell are we doing here? I was going to do the parade discussion separate, but I just did the what the hell are we doing here. I wrapped all the final things into the what the hell are we doing here segment. And then we're going to do our last You Heard It Here First, where we go over the predictions that we did last broadcast, and we're going to actually do what are your predictions for the first round of the draft. So if you don't have those yet, start thinking about it if you're not prepared.
Oh, okay, John. Let's jump forward to April.
Well, that way we can pick up season 2, you know, and check all of our work. All right, so let's get right into it. We have What Did We Just Watch? Let's start with the Browns versus the Bears. I'll read the stats, and then you guys dive in. These are the stats that I have. Browns versus Bears. Kaiser threw 2 interceptions. The Browns had 2 turnovers in the red zone. Isaiah Crowell had 12 attempts for 44 yards. Duke Johnson had 7 receptions for 81 yards. For the Bears, Jordan Howard had 2 TDs. Trubisky had an 87 passer rating with 197 yards and a rushing touchdown. How'd that game go for you guys? The final score was 20-3.
Right.
It was snowy.
Pretty much what we expected.
I turned on the TV and I'm like, we're going to run the ball all day. They got a good game plan. This is awesome football weather. We're good against the run.
Isn't that one of the games you predicted was going to be one of your 2, John?
Yes, he did predict a Browns win. I thought it would be close.
I actually think I predicted a Browns win there, too. I was giving them that one game, and they came out, and Cleveland happened.
Yep. See, there isn't even we don't even have anything to say about it.
What are you going to say?
We're all like,
It was just like every other week of this season, except it was worse.
Hey, John, what
Yep.
were the total rushing yards for the Browns that game? yards.
I don't know the total yards. Our stats guy is it's better with Hue.
Better.
Ryan?
You?
Stats, please.
Well,
We're gonna have to fill in some time until he Google searches those.
well, you have to have.
It wasn't
bet-
high. Like
gotta have
Crow
a-
was the leading rusher with 44. Duke
44 on 12 carries. Like Duke Johnson had less than that.
Duke had
obviously.
he had higher receiving yards, but he usually has higher receiving yards than rushing
Yeah.
yards. So
It's interesting you should say that, John.
And Kaiser threw the ball, what, 40 times, 45 times that game?
Well, why wouldn't he? That's what they do.
they didn't
Let's
dedicate
see.
themselves to the run as we all thought they might.
Total rushing
Right,
yards.
considering there's a foot of snow on the ground and it's 20 degrees outside.
And it's Kaiser,
Let's throw the ball 40 times.
57% accuracy.
Well, you'll be surprised to know that the Browns had less than 100 yards rushing in that game.
Shocking.
It was
Not-
Crowell had 44, Johnson had 20, Kaiser had 8, and Days had 3. So what's that average? What's that? 75 yards total.
and the
Total.
Bears. The
Total.
Bears had how much?
The Bears had.
Well, Jordan Howard had 2
you-
touchdowns, but he didn't have a whole lot of yards.
Trubisky had 40. He had seven attempts for 44 himself.
Nice.
And a touchdown. His longest was 14, and Howard had 44, and then Cohen had 9. So I mean, he only touched the ball twice out of the backfield.
End arounds, screen passes, and QB sneaks were not our friends this year.
Wow, you know why? I would have to say that's because Greg Williams' defense sucks.
Are they going to
No
keep
doubt.
Greg Williams' defense?
I mean, if you want to lose another,
I
16
still
games.
can't believe we're going to keep the staff, but I guess we'll see. Still time. Plenty of time to get rid of them.
All right.
In that game, the one bright spot in that game is probably the only one bright spot we've had in every game this season. Is your boy Duke Johnson was targeted 7 times. He caught it 7 times. And he got 81 yards out of it. That's it. Everything else isn't even worth mentioning. Ricardo Lewis, 1 reception for 35 yards. Higgins had 2 for 20. Gordon had 2 for 19. He was
Scored
targeted
3
8.
fucking points, so there's no one to put. There's no one
No.
that did anything.
And the worst part about that is Gordon was targeted 8 times in that game, only caught 2 of them. And if you watched it, I watched it. He couldn't catch 5 of those. They weren't even
No
close
way.
to him.
Not even close.
Other than that, there isn't even a stat that's worth mentioning.
Yeah, Josh Gordon was pulling his usual not running out the routes and being lazy and his usual MO.
Oh,
Good to see.
he was
Although-
fired up against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, all those people that were so excited about having Josh Gordon back. Watch the tape. Watch him really run out those routes.
He
He's
knows.
really putting his
Lazy
effort
piece
in
of
there.
shit. He wants out. Get him out of here. Let him go. Send him somewhere. Somebody wants him.
All right,
Oh, boy.
Browns Steelers. Big Ben, Antonio, Shazier, Pouncey, Bell. Is there anyone else who did not play for the Steelers?
I think all 8 Pro Bowlers were out.
Anybody you can mention that was a starter for them did not play.
Did not play.
Joe Hayden played.
5 Pro Bowlers on offense. They didn't play.
Joe Hayden got burned by Josh Gordon.
Well, yeah, Joe Hayden played. That's why Josh had 4 catches for 115 yards in that game.
Kaiser had 314 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 61 rushing yards.
How many picks?
1.
Just one.
Why do you got to go there?
Just one. You know-
For Pittsburgh, Smith-Schuster had 1 touchdown receiving, 1 return touchdown. Ridley had a rushing touchdown, and Hayward Bay had that end around. 28-24. We lost.
Typical Browns loss. Probably should have won the game considering the competition, but found a way to lose, like they always do.
Me and my buddy were talking like midweek after the Steelers announced that they were not playing anybody. We were like, hey, this is a good week to make a huge money line bet on the Browns. They could literally win this game because Pittsburgh literally doesn't care what happens in this game. Place a huge money line wager on the Browns. You're going to get great odds on your money. Really good chance you win the game. And I thought about it. I was like, how much do I want to put on that? And I said, wait a minute. I said, after the Steelers bench, Ben and Bell and Antonio Brown's out, everybody's out. You name them, they're out. The Steelers still have a better team than the fucking Browns. I'm not going to place the bet.
You would have cleaned up, though. I think they were getting 12.
They were getting
it
was 12 or 12 and a half, wasn't it?
It was down to 10, but still.
Yeah, it started on Tuesday at 12 and a half.
And then
you would have covered.
Like 8 or 9, 9.5, I think might have. I saw it like real early in the week. After they announced everybody was out, it went down to 7 in a heartbeat. And by the time the game rolled around, it got all the way down to 5, which they covered.
There you go. Did you put the bet out? That's the question.
I put the bet on them +6, but I couldn't take the big money line bet. Couldn't do it.
Higgins showed up too. He had 2 or 3 catches. One was the longest pass play this year.
Higgins, I think, is probably the only one of the wide receivers that's made a case to even be invited to training camp next year. You're back to what Jim said earlier. Josh Gordon's stats for the 5 games he played: 18 catches for 335 yards and 1 touchdown. He had an 18.6 yard average. That's what you got out of him this year, folks.
You can't judge Josh Gordon based off of this year.
Yeah,
Look
we're
at
keeping
his
Josh
freaking
Gordon.
Quarterback.
No, you're right.
You need to back off of Josh Gordon. Go Cavs.
Back off.
You're keeping Josh Gordon? It's not up to you. It's up to John Dorsey.
We're keeping him.
They still own his rights for one more season, don't they?
That's the kind of guy you don't want you don't want that guy around the team in the locker room.
Josh alone. I'm not going to tell you this again.
It's a bad seed.
He came back. He came back. He made it through the 5 games. Now all he has to do is make it through this very important offseason, and he can play out his existing shitty contract and see if he can get a new deal. He will, if he wants to stay in the NFL, obviously.
He's a slacker.
Be awesome next year because he wants his only paycheck.
Dude, he's going to be a beast next year. Best redemption story. Give this guy another chance. You have nothing to lose.
I've heard that exact same speech 4 times in the last 5 years.
Okay, and?
People like you, I've heard that before. It's only a matter of time before he screws something up again.
No, you're wrong.
Yes.
You don't believe in redemption. You don't believe in good stories.
Oh man, are we really we're gonna waste time on this?
What makes it different this time?
We're gonna waste time on this.
Wait. Some could argue that this entire broadcast is a waste of time. So give me Josh Gordon.
Then we don't need to give Josh Gordon 30 seconds more of wasting
Glenn,
our
these
time.
guys hate Josh Gordon. I've been
Dude,
nobody hates
I
Josh
got yelled
Gordon.
at because I was talking about him coming back like 3 weeks before he was supposed to come back, and I was told by these guys that I couldn't talk about him coming back.
No, you weren't talking about him. You're ready to build him a fucking statue outside the stadium.
Maybe after next season I will.
Yeah, you want to buy him a bag of weed and build him a stadium right there in front of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because he's going to be, I don't know,
yes,
the
that's
Browns'
actually
next Hall of Famer or something.
None of what you just said is false. All right.
I know I have to sit with you every fucking week and listen to this bullshit.
Oh man,
you're gonna put him, and Johnny Manziel in the same.
Well, just got busted, or he was busted with 9.
No, grams.
Oh, 99 grams. There was an alarm.
99 ounces.
Yeah,
Damn.
There was an alarm at his house or something, and his wife let the cops in, and they had it like sitting out on the table, and he didn't even try to say anything about it. So they busted both of them with felony possession. Anyway, we're going into quotes. So here's the first one. You guys guess who said it? How do we go out there on Sunday and figure As a player, you just hate to hear that anywhere.
Jeez.
I don't know that anybody on this team has ever said anything that sounded so intelligent.
You won't be shocked when you figure out who said it. So
Joe Thomas.
I'll give you the context. The context is that it was a question about the comment that Dorsey made about not having enough players. And he said, "You're just trying to figure out what we have to do in this locker room. How do we go out there on Sunday and figure out how to win this game? As a player, you just hate to hear that anywhere."
Corey Coleman.
No.
I think I know who said it, and I can't remember. So
Kirksey.
I'm going to stay out of it.
One would argue he is pickup this year.
Gordy?
McCourty said it. Yep, he didn't like those comments about that Dorsey made about not having enough players.
Anyway.
Response to that.
I like McCourty. Yeah.
All right.
Honest.
All right, this was on, I believe this was on Instagram. And it says, "Good year, Duke Johnson. Hopefully, I'll be with you next year."
TP.
Terrell Pryor.
Yep.
Is he?
Right on Kirk Cousins.
Why would he want to?
He said, "Hopefully, I'll be with you next year." We're not trading Duke Johnson.
Well, no. Probably going to demand a trade, and he'll be on the Redskins, and we'll get Samar J.P. Ryan from them in exchange.
Maybe we can trade Duke for Kirk Cousins.
I'd do it.
Oh,
It's the only,
okay.
by far
Next.
away the only production.
By far.
Oh, it's sad.
All right. Last forever.
My ex-old lady.
What will the stench of 0-16?
It'll last forever.
Every Cleveland fan has said that. I don't. You got to give us something to go on, John.
I don't know.
That
Give
was
us a
pretty.
clue.
Yeah, it's pretty vague.
It was a pivotal play at the end of the game.
Oh, Corey Coleman's drop.
Corey Coleman.
Corey Coleman on the drop that essentially ended the season. They asked him how he would feel about that. He said, "It'll last. That feeling with me will last forever."
Another fine draft pick by the dearly departed Sashi Brown.
That was the year. That was the year that we passed up on your boy Carson.
That's a shame.
Glenn,
Guys.
Wow.
just Glenn, nothing, huh? What'd you think about that drop?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Did you see? I can't remember if I don't think it was Hayden. Somebody tried to help him up after he dropped the ball.
I don't think it was Hayden either. It was one of the other DBs back there who tried to put his hand down. They hit him in the helmet a couple times, offered him a hand to get up, and I didn't think he was ever going to get up.
He couldn't even open his hand. Were his fingers frozen? What the hell was wrong with him?
I think that's that the only time he was targeted in that game?
No, he had another catch or two.
Maybe two at most.
Wow.
Corey Coleman and he also got brought up on charges.
What?
Or he didn't get charged. His brother and another person that he rolls with is up on charges for last year's New Year's Eve fight at the Pinnacle downtown.
All right. Whatever.
John,
right.
weren't you at the Pinnacle that night?
I say nothing. All right, this is a good one. I think you guys are going to know who this is once I start reading it. It's the one thing I came here for, and I've not delivered to this organization or the football team. For that, I apologize. I promise you this. I am going to do everything in my power to get this organization turned to winning.
You. It's you.
And if you don't see it on the slide, it says Hugh Jackson, Cleveland Browns, 2018 and 19.
I don't have the slide though.
Oh man.
I know. I figured you didn't see it. All right.
You know, we need to put him in the Ring of Honor.
Here's one. That really aggravates me. Our execution might not be very good, and I'll take all the grief for that. And plan on owning the Browns for a long time and turning this franchise around.
D. Haslam. Because we all know Jimmy's going to the clink.
That is Jim Haslam, Browns billionaire owner.
Well, soon to be.
Jimmy.
Guys, he's taken all the grief, guys. He's gonna have a parade on Saturday of people walking around his stadium, protesting this 0-16 season, and he's gonna take all the grief for that.
First Energy doesn't give two shits how many people are standing out there.
Grief? He's gonna take the grief?
Yeah.
What's that gonna do?
He admitted that his execution has not been very good so far. That's very self-aware.
Is the parade gonna make him be a better decision maker? No.
He got rid of Sashi. I think that's a step in the right direction.
You know, Sashi did exactly what he was brought in here to do.
I've
Save
heard
this
that
team money and get draft picks. Hugh Jackson was brought in here to coach guys to win a fucking football game, and he keeps his job, but Sashi got fired. Now, I'm not saying Sashi should still be here by any stretch of the imagination because he sucks. But he did what he was brought in to do, and Hugh hasn't, and we're going to watch this shit again next year.
I guess.
Who are you kidding here,
right.
John?
Who would you bring back of the ones that he's already fired? Chudzinski, Pettin. Who else? Who else did we have?
You know what?
Is Hugh better than all three of them?
If I had to choose, I'd bring Pettin back. I'd take Pettin in a heartbeat because he was dealt freaking Manziel that season.
Got
he
a
didn't
raw
stand
deal.
a chance.
Got screwed by they gave him Johnny, and they were trying to wheel and deal behind his back, and they screwed up the whole team because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Pettin, actually. The rest of the guys suck. But
Pettin did make the mistake of yanking Hoyer for Manziel after that Colts game when the Browns were, 7-4 at the time, I think, and we lost every game after that.
Did Hugh want to start this season with Kaiser as our quarterback?
Did you?
No.
Are you asking me, or did you say did Hugh?
The only way I would say yes is if you believe he was in on the tanking. If they were purposely tanking again, which I highly doubt, but if they were, that would be the only reason that you would have a quarterback room that looks like that, with no veterans in it and no wins. No one constructs a team like that.
Cody Kessler.
Unless you're purposely losing.
Kaiser.
Oh, man. I wish we could go back to week 1 of the Fancast and see all of our predictions for who would be on the roster as the QBs this season. It's a game of injury. The only games that he missed this year, he went out when he had the migraine, but the only games that he missed is when he got benched. He wasn't hurt.
Wow,
and
that's a good point.
We did have. I wouldn't have started the season with him.
He did have that migraine,
but he left for a series or whatever it was, and he came back. But he never missed a game due to injury.
Okay.
It's just, and that's the best we have.
The best thing you can say about him?
That's all I could say about him. That's all I could say about him. I thought, at the beginning of the season, everybody had pegging this guy on his accuracy. I've never seen a more inaccurate QB, and who should have let Spalding throw the ball.
Oh, neither. I don't think I have either. Not in the NFL.
Watching Kaiser throw was like watching Spalding play cornhole.
Oh, God.
57% completion. 57% completion. That's almost on the dime. Our stats are comparable. Now, is it possible to throw an interception in cornhole? Is that when you knock the other person's bag in?
Yeah.
Yeah, then I have a lot of those, too. I have a lot
and yours goes off the board.
All right, guys, let's go into what the hell are we doing here. First up on what the hell are we doing here, this is news and notes from this week and things moving forward. So first up, the parade. Is it a good idea?
Next topic.
So stupid.
Just go to the next topic. Nobody wants to talk about
Who's
this.
going? Anyone going?
You're going, John.
No.
We know you're going. Nobody else. So there's going to be like 50 people down there.
Yes.
beating each other off around the stadium. Good for you. Have fun.
Now listen,
Somebody that's just dying to get on a
minus 30 wind chill to boot. So
Now, I'll give them this much: a lot of the money and everything is going to go to the food bank, and that's great. I'm sure everybody appreciates that.
Right.
But this is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. Next
What
time.
money? What do you mean all the money? Where's the money
There's
coming
all
from?
kinds of donations. and
Excedrin
shit coming in
donated
for
$7,000.
Ooh.
Dude, Excedrin donated $7,000 to pay for expenses.
They should have donated a bottle of aspirin every season.
have fun, Chuck.
Listen, the only reason I'm going is because my